third premiership. It was different. It was obviously a different year.
The AFL has moved to immediately suspend the 2020 Toyota AFL Premiership season.
And despite the war footing and all of the drastic restrictions, the AFL will play on.
We're really excited about the opportunity we get to go away all together, spend better time than we're allowed to here in Melbourne.
I think the situation back at home is probably the assumption that we will be here for a little bit longer than what we expected.
For the first time in AFL's history, the AFL Grand Final will not be held in Victoria.
And so after more than 100 days, Richmond's time inside the hub has almost come to an end.
Richmond's premiership celebrations have showed no signs of slowing down today as the club continues to party in their Gold Coast hub.
There's a lot of challenges, different obstacles, playing away from home. Obviously in the hub for over 100 days, but I think just being together 24 hours a day was a standout for me, because back in Melbourne it was quite challenging where we just be at home, back to training, be at home, back at training, where here we could actually spend time together and actually socialise, and the connection piece for us is such an integral part, but back in Melbourne we sort of had that taken away, so coming here we got to regain that. Yeah, we've obviously had a few indiscretions this year, and just because of our success doesn't mean we're immune to them, but what defines the group is how we respond to them. Obviously in an ideal world we wouldn't have had those, but the way the group responded was the true fabric of what this place is about, and it's as more than just the group of players, it's the whole organisation. I think teams can win games and lists win finals, but organisations win premierships, and I think that's what Richmond's done.
Here it comes, listen to this. How good the Brisbane Lions are through to a prelim final.
I think the loss was probably one that we needed to have. At the time, it's obviously disappointing, but the way Koch leads us and the way Dimmer coaches us is, through our darkest times comes our greatest lessons, and every time we do obviously have a difficult situation or we lose, we always learn from it, and we're fortunate enough to give ourselves a chance, the double chance, and it proved the long road was the right road. I think the favourite moment was when the siren went, when it was all over, and I was quite exhausted from the whole year, and mentally and physically pretty much done. So once the siren went and there was the scoreboard was in our favour, so I think that was my favourite moment for sure. We were sitting, I think it was Dimmer's pre-game when he was talking, and you could hear the crowd how loud it was. It was a little bit foreign this year for us, but obviously in previous years we've had packed stadiums with 100,000 Richmond supporters. The ones who turned up to our games in Queensland were extremely vocal. The support was amazing, and we got a lot of love back from Melbourne as well and back from Victoria. So we have supporters all over the world, and they're the best in the world. So we're totally grateful for them.
It was, the third premiership honestly is like the most special of the lot by far. Like the challenges that we faced this year, the amount of staff, coaches that just play here in Queensland away from families on essentially volunteering their time has just been amazing. Like the groups just. We've faced challenges throughout the year, like we had some off-field stuff happening, and the whole time we just kept turning towards each other. We're living with each other, and it just felt like the further the year went on, the closer the guys got. So it was just remarkable to be able to repay some of the sacrifice that supporters, staff, everybody's made, and come up here with a win has been pretty special. Oh, standout moments. Actually, not many people know this. The Thursday before the grand final, we had a taipan crawl through that door right there. And the taipan slithered its way through this door here and ended up in our dining room before we actually caught it. So that's probably one of the standout moments. If anything's going to happen in year 2020, it's venomous snake crawling through your dining room the week of the grand final. But we wrangled the snake, we won the flag, and that's the main thing. That's all that matters. We definitely took the long road this year. It was such a journey, and the belief was, I think it was there, but there was certainly some moments that challenged us, like way beyond what we'd been challenged previously. A lot of players were, and I think this came out pretty publicly, were struggling early in the lockdown period in Melbourne, and then to find out that we're coming to Queensland for 30 days was just, you know, a big sacrifice to leave families behind, and you know, the times that Victorians have been struggling the most were when we were in lockdown, and to come up here for 30 days and that turns out to be 115 odd days was just, yeah, it was really tough. But having said that, like every club has been through their challenges this year, but on field and off field, I feel like we were pushed probably more than most, and yeah, to just continually rise to that challenge and to finally, you know, get that reward at the end of the season makes it all seem worthwhile, because there were some times in there where everyone, including us, were thinking, you know, is this too hard? Are we on the right track? Are we, you know, is the process that we keep preaching and that we keep practicing, is it enough? But yeah, to come out against, you know, Geelong, who were just such a quality side, and then have that process challenged, and to finally, you know, achieve what we did was just, I think it was vindictive of the year of 2020. Just the challenge that we faced, and to overcome that and play the way that we did was just really special. Oh, favourite moment. Oh, there's a lot in this grand final. I think because of the build-up was so different, and the crowd and the atmosphere was so different being away from the G in a night grand final. It feels so much more clear than what it has in previous years. I think the emotion and I guess the adrenaline of previous years have overcome me. But this year, I think when Dusty kicked that goal was like the sealer, the envelope that we'd won. That 2 or 3 minutes after that was about as special as it comes, really. In the life of football, that's as good as it gets. Running around there with 18 of your best mates, 22 including the bench, and just finally realising that all the sacrifice, all the hard times that we'd been through in 2020 is worth it, was just dream come true, honestly. By far the best moment of my playing career. Yeah. Where was I? I was chasing after the ball. So the ball had come over the back, and Geelong at this point were trying to win the game, so they were throwing everything at us, going through the corridor, and the ball trickled over the back, and I was running towards it, and I was trying to pick it up, and the siren went, and I was right next to Koch, which was really special. I think we hugged each other for about a minute. That's when reality finally hits. You know, you've worked so hard the whole year from, you know, December through till now. We've been pushing for a premiership, and that moment we succeeded, and that was just an amazing moment that I'll never forget. I'm just so proud of the guys, like from the guys that played to the guys that were not playing, and the staff. Honestly, it's been such an incredible journey, and we've been challenged in so many ways, on field, with injuries, with indiscretions, like you name it, we've been challenged. But you know, I think the thing that's different about this group, or the thing that we can be really proud of, is that we've always turned towards each other, and every lesson that we've learned, whether it be positive or you know, negative situation, we've always learnt and grown from it. And this year there were some really big learnings, and to see them finally come to fruition, to see the boys finally get the reward for their effort's been the most special part about it. Honestly, this year, 2020, the support from the people that, you know, have been in Queensland, have been in Victoria, from been all over Australia, has been just incredible. To think that last night we're playing a night grand final in Queensland, and to still feel the Richmond energy that you get, you know, on the home MCG crowd was just amazing. And you know, a couple of weeks ago in Port Adelaide, and you still feel it there. It's just incredible. So the fans have supported us, you know, through the times where people had written us off from even making finals to now. We just have to owe the biggest thank you to them, and to see so many come in force last night was just the best feeling. And you know, a moment when we're running out and the fireworks are going off and the Richmond crowd are screaming the yellow and black song, it was something I'll never forget.
Number 2, Dylan Grimes.
It's hard not to get emotional when you speak about
just the care and love that we have for each other. This year's been like no other that I've experienced. And it's really unique. I obviously haven't experienced any other footy clubs or team environments, but just the calibre of people, their willingness to be open, put themselves out there, not scared to share any part of their journey, whether it's from when they're a young kid through to now. And I think that fosters really special relationships that go beyond just being part of a football team or a football organisation. It's relationships that you'll create and hold on to forever. And you know, these memories are really special, but it's actually the stories from the journey that are the things that mean the most to us as a group, I think. Yeah, I was pretty emotional after the game. Probably, you know, the kids, I think we celebrate family, one of, if not the best, in the AFL environment. And to have them out there and see, you know, Basher, Jack, Marlon with their kids on stage, and then for me to have the same opportunity, you know, and then just to see them playing in the streamers while we did our lap of honour, and the joy that it brings to them and the memories that they create together is just really unique and special. And I mean, having the kids in Hub has been phenomenal, really. I think it's not only taught some of our younger boys more about life and patience, and it's probably brought, you know, an added dimension to a scenario where at times it probably did feel a little bit lonely and alone, even though you've got so many people around you. You know, and then for us to watch from afar, just whether it was at dinner time and 2 or 3 of the guys had taken away just so that Brooke and I could eat in peace for 20 minutes, half an hour, or you know, Tigger took Harper and Ken's for surfing lessons. Biggie spent relentless amounts of time doing laps on the oval with all 3 of the kids. But you know, they're incredibly lucky to be part of an environment. I'm a little bit concerned about post-hub blues for them and maybe how much energy Brooke and I are going to have to provide them. But I think what I've loved most about 2020 and its journey and the adventure that we've treated it as has just been probably the growth and the depth of relationships by living in a hub with, you know, 60, 70 people that, you know, you spend a lot of time with, but not so much intimate time. And you know, people have probably seen the best and worst of what a family go through, but the lessons that they've learned, our kids, by living in such an incredible environment for such a long period of time is, you know, memories that we've created that will hold on forever, but yeah, also, you know, lessons that are going to hold them in really good stead going forward in their life.
Mr. St. Brian, the champions have been able to do what only the toughest and strongest could do in 2020. The Tigers again.
I think I'm about the half back line. And siren sounded. I don't even. I know I was part of a pretty big cluster of boys. Yeah, I think we all sort of were just in and around where maybe the ball was pretty close to, so there's plenty of us there. Every year's been really different, so you know, I'm sure there'll be some great photos of that moment. Yeah, I don't think it's completely sunk in. I'm incredibly grateful that I've been a part of it, and such a unique and proud organisation. You know, to play a small part in that is really special and humbling, and you know, something that I think beyond my career, whenever that may be, will be something that I reflect on really proudly.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think, yeah, obviously each one's been absolutely unbelievable, but this, I suppose, the year we've had and the adversity that we've sort of been up against, it just sort of made it a little bit extra special. And to sort of have everyone here together now, staff, families, players, coaches, and just like celebrate together, it's been absolutely amazing. Yeah, it was challenging. I think I come in with an injury, obviously, and played with Soldo for 3 or 4 weeks there. Then for him to go down which is absolutely devastating. And I suppose we tried a few different things with Marbs, and Dave come back from his knee, and being able to partnership with Dave was pretty cool. And not too sure, I think being able to be so flexible is something we speak about, and for them blokes to come in and be able to play a role and just be humble enough to do whatever coach needs them to do for us to win, yeah, it's amazing. Oh, I just think like little things along the way, like our bus trips together to the beach, you know, going for walks and that sort of stuff, like little stuff that sort of got everyone through. I think we've all come together, and it has been challenging, but overall I look back and it's been one of the most amazing experiences, and one that I would never forget. Probably the Brisbane game, we took a lot of learnings out of it, and it was probably like a blessing, and we could play the next week straight away. And yeah, obviously we've done it the hard way, but yeah, I just look back, I'm so proud to be a part of such an amazing group, and yeah, I'm so wrapped. Dusty's goal at the end was pretty good. I think it was a pretty tense game up until then, and yeah, well, there's probably about 3 or 4 minutes to go there where probably a little bit more comfortable, but yeah, Dusty's goal at the end there, and just to be able to celebrate with everyone, and our fans at the Gabba were amazing, and yeah, that was just so special. I think the ball bobbled around down that half-back line, and a few of us like come in together, and before we knew it, everyone was in, and it was so special, their moments. And then the boys that didn't play come out, and as we speak about, I think it takes a whole group, and for them boys to come out and share it with them, amazing. So obviously everyone's had their challenges this year with being away from friends, family, being up here for 100 odd days. Oh yeah, I just think the way everyone's come together and sort of used each other, I suppose, and got each other through it. And yeah, I'm so proud, and I think we've grown closer together, which is such a hold us in good stead for the future, I think, and yeah, I'm so proud.
Number 25, Toby Nankervis.
Yeah, I think this one was definitely felt a bit more, not better than the other ones, but a bit more of a point to prove, I think, because everyone always says we only win because of the MCG, and we never leave the G, and we don't leave Melbourne, and yeah, to come up here and hub for 110 days and yeah, get the win, and obviously go over to Adelaide and beat Port on their home deck. So I think this one's a bit special, yeah. Yeah, I guess obviously moving up here was a bit weird, but it's something that, yeah, looking back on, I'm going to miss, I think. Yeah, waking up every morning, coming down and having a coffee with the boys and having 44 of your mates downstairs, it's pretty special. I think the way the coaches and Dimmer message it and give it to us gives us a lot of belief, and yeah, Dimmer's messaging was, it's a different way, but we can look at it as buried or planted, and yeah, we want it to be obviously planted. So yeah, it was a different journey, but yeah, we really relished the opportunity to go to Adelaide and take on Port. So yeah, it's good, and it's special to have to win this one now gives Fridge an opportunity. We missed out last year in the prelim, and obviously Capsy, who's played a pivotal role for the last 4 years, and to get his second one. So yeah, just to see those blokes get their second, and obviously Noah get his first, I think that's the special bit, yeah. Probably been shorty out Mark Danger.
See, they're so undecided, so straight down the guts.
Holding Dave Atsbury, Richmond. Dave Atsbury.
Actually, I think Dangerfield expected to get that there.
Yeah, Dave got the free kick, so yeah, it's pretty filthy on Dave for that. But yeah, Shorty's went bang and plucked it, so yeah, that's probably my moment. Well, it was, I was down back, yeah, just with the boys and with the backline crew, and yeah, got around them, and I can't really remember, I don't know if it was live play, but yeah, I was definitely down back with the boys on the field, so very lucky to be on the ground. Yeah, I felt like Richmond supporters outweighed Geelong supporters. That far wing, all the way from the goal square round, was chockers with yellow and black, and yeah, definitely heard them. So hopefully did the ones back in Melbourne proud too, because we miss them, so should be good.
Yeah, it was obviously amazing. It's pretty surreal. I still haven't really had enough time to just sit down and think really hard about it, and remembering just how hard it was just to make finals not that long ago. And yeah, here we are. It's amazing. my standout moments, it was easily winning the grand final. Also, being able to see my dad and my brother at the game. I hadn't seen them since Christmas. My dad meeting my daughter for the first time, and my brother meeting my daughter as well. The first grandchild, by the way, at the game, and wondering how that was going while the warm-up and the game was on. And it was my birthday after the grand final, so celebrating that on the bus, it was a big few hours. I always knew if we had a hub at some point that I probably wouldn't be able to go. The further the season progressed, the less likely I would be able to go. And then after a month of everyone being in the hub, we thought it was 30 days. Being told that I'd stay up there, that was heartbreaking. I thought, well, there's no way I can help the team this year. It's almost impossible to get there, given the due date and we didn't know what the end of the year's schedule looked like. I was just trying to do the maths, thinking like if that works out, but at the same time, I don't want to put too much pressure on Sam because having a kid's hard enough. Their first one with no parents in the state and they can't even get there, so that was pretty hard. But all the guys made me feel really a part of it. It feels like it was about 5 years ago now. Sam Lonergan, he just helped me train so hard, and it was a bit of a release being able to just go out there and train on Punt Road. And I wasn't sore from games and I wasn't injured, so I could just train as hard as I possibly could every session, which was such a bonus, and just got me in the best possible nick to be able to give myself a chance to play the last game or the first final, depending on when we had Maya. So worked out pretty lucky. I got to play a game before the finals. Wasn't too sure how that would go down, first game being in the finals. I didn't really think that would be an option with form and fitness and selection and things like that. I didn't think I'd be able to help out. We were able to get a week and a half with Maya at home in Victoria to sort of figure out how to actually parent and look after a baby, pretty much on our own, because we weren't allowed to leave the hospital, because if I left the hospital, I wasn't allowed to go back because of all the COVID restrictions. So it was a lock-in at the hospital, and that was 4 or 5 days. Then we got out, we were able to just sort of regroup and get our thoughts together, and at the time felt like we probably weren't ready to even leave the house because we hadn't really figured out too many things. But it was a blessing in disguise because we got to hang around lots of families, and we learnt a lot from so many other families from other clubs. And yeah, it's shout out to Alicia Grimes. She helped out a lot, and yeah, we got through the hub, through the quarantine, and we're kind of a bit flat to leave quarantine because we got into a nice little routine, and it's pretty much all we knew with a baby was quarantine. So leaving it was actually as scary as leaving home to go into quarantine. So when we got out, we were lucky to be with the same crew at the Royal Pines. At the same time, I was just trying to make sure I was in enough, positive mindset and fitness and all that sort of stuff to perform whenever the opportunity would arise. And I was lucky enough to play against Adelaide, and Dimmer just threw me in to the midfield, which was awesome because the ball bounced my way in the first quarter and it felt like I'd actually played a few games already. So I was pretty lucky that happened, and yeah, sort of just latched onto the hub here and away we went, and yeah, life couldn't be any better. Well, I didn't think having an 11-week-old baby at the football grand final was even possible. So Sam did amazing, and I was always just in the back of my head wondering how it would go with Dad meeting He doesn't have any grandchildren, and either side of the family don't have grandchildren, and I was hoping for a few tears, but apparently Jack's dad, Chris, was bawling his eyes out behind Dad and Sam, so at least someone shed some tears back up in the stands. And yeah, after the game, you know, all the commotion of winning and everything, and then it's like, oh my God, I've got a baby here as well, and medal, and it's all happening. Then my birthday, huge few hours. Yeah, what a year. Best and worst year ever.
Number 10, Shane Edwards.
And there's the intended target. It's a difficult chance, and he's got that on line. Gee, that's good. Yep. Gee, that was just superb off the boot.
I don't think it's sunk in, really, to be honest. I think there's an element of relief about it, but also joy. A bit of sadness too, because the whole hub life is finishing up, but also excitement to head home and get back to some sort of normality in life. But yeah, pretty fulfilled at the moment, just really enjoying what comes of winning a premiership, yeah. Just super proud of everyone, players, staff, just like this has been a really trying situation for everyone. Just to uproot a lot of people's lives and move them away to the Gold Coast, as glamorous as it sounds. It's been difficult, and we've all had moments over the year and over this period that we've been up here, but yeah, this is ultimately the most satisfying premiership for me, because we've had minimal resources, been away from home, we're playing on grounds that we don't play on very regularly. We've had to make decisions on the fly about team. We've learned a lot of lessons over the year, but ultimately we've proven that we can do it any place, anytime, anyhow. So it's that's the reason I love this one. No, it's, yeah. Well, for one, she was very well behaved after the game, so I was right with that. And I mean, these are moments you cherish forever. So I've got some photos that I'll look back on in however many years, very fondly with her. They will be memories I'll have for the rest of my life. So I'm grateful that my teammates and this club have given me the chance to have those memories and share them with my family and Poppy and Carly. Favourite moment of Granny? I think when Mars shrugged Dangerfield and kicked that snap late. That was pretty special. Did something similar in the Granny last year, and I was so lucky to just get the front row tickets to the Dustin Martin show, and it's pretty bloody special. Where I've been for the last 2 flags, nearly within arm's reach of Dustin, so fortunately we've been in a position where we sort of know we're going to win it with a minute to go, so I'm the only bloke out there that's going to tag him. No other side's decided to tag him, but I'll tag him with a minute to go, so we make sure we're there to celebrate each other. We've obviously been through the journey for a few years here now, and it's always great to celebrate with your teammates.
So here's Graham. Yep. Just a reaching to try and tackle Tom Atkins. It's dislocated there, look at that.
Yeah. Obviously 2017 I came in at the right time, 2019 I went out at the wrong time. So going out in the prelim last year wasn't ideal. Didn't dream of that ever happening. I thought, oh, here we go. Hopefully we win and we're into another grand final. But yeah, instead that night I was going to bed knowing, yeah, I'm not going to be playing next week, which was sad. But at the same time I was wrapped for blokes like Ivan Soldo, Jaden Short, Liam Baker, for them to experience that grand final. So as hard as it was watching, yeah, I felt a part of it, but you know, deep down you're not. But yeah, to win this one, that's why it's so special and means a lot to me. It's a pretty special group. To come up here for 110 days, it's just amazing to see how everyone's handled themselves. You know, they just rock up, get the job done. We have a lot of fun along the way, but at the same time we work hard, and yeah, another premiership. Yeah, obviously it's been a challenging year. It's been tough, but at the same time I've loved every minute of it. You know, getting to know the boys on a deeper level, 110 days together. I'm glad it's over now because everyone's getting sick of each other. But yeah, you've learned so much, learned so much about myself, but also others. And it's just been a great year, and yeah, it's been good. Probably the trip up to Darwin, I reckon that's where it turned, and we just, you know, a few beers after that game. It was such a great win, obviously celebrating such a special and significant week. It was Capsy's 100th game as well, so that was another special moment, and we had a great win, and we just kept on charging from there. Yeah, the belief was always there. You know, we always learn from it whenever we get beaten, so we knew that opportunity was coming. We dug deep and we did it the hard way, but I think we were better off for it. We were on the train and we just kept on moving. Favourite moment probably when Dustin kicked one of his 3 or 4 goals. I think the last one, that's when, you know, we're home here. He stretched his jumper out, and he's like, I think he's done that in all 3 grand finals. So I thought, this is pretty special, and we're on here. Yeah, so the siren sounded, and yeah, it was an amazing feeling, and I just ran straight to Shorty. Yeah, Shorty and Bakes, and yeah, we got to celebrate that together. They're probably 2 of my best mates at the club, and yeah, playing a premiership with them, it's pretty special.
Yeah, it's honestly, it hasn't been a time where I haven't yet reflected yet. Yeah, it's kind of been a blur, to be quite honest. It's different celebrations, good and bad. You know, obviously the goodness of it is that the fact that we're with our teammates more sincerely. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of external noise, which is not a problem. Obviously, this is a win. The victory is obviously a collective effort, but to be able to celebrate it with the guys that, you know, that have been with you for the whole 110 days or so, was very, very special. But yeah, there was something missing. Like, I felt like it was, and clearly the thing that was missing was the, you know, the extended Tiger Army, which, you know, it's a big difference between 30,000 and 100,000. And then, yeah, and then like just, I don't know, like sometimes when you win things often, I don't know how to put this in the context, but it becomes like, okay, yeah, well, another one, and another one, as they say, eh? But no, honestly, I'm so humbled and grateful for it, to be quite honest. And yeah, it's from 17 to 2000. It's the feeling has become more calm and happy, but calm and relaxed, yeah, about it. So yeah, you always reflect it to the, you know, to the big games. Yeah, and for us, obviously, the most recent one was the Port game, and you know how, you know, hostile environment, everything going against us, and you know, the way we believed in our system and got the job done was, you know, put us in great stead for the grand final week. It's just been one of those journeys where I haven't had time to reflect, and this is the great thing about now this off season. I'll sit back and reflect upon moments and the journey that we've had together for 100 days. And no doubt there's been so many memorable moments, great times, sitting around the table for lunch with a few of the boys and enjoying a bit of banter. This year I've really enjoyed being around my teammates more than ever. And I really look forward to coming into the club, KDV, because I was staying obviously at Royal Pines. So, you know, going home, which is Royal Pines essentially, and then coming into the club, which was KDV, and then spending time with the boys. I really, yeah, I really admired this time. It's something that I'll always reflect upon and say, you know what, I really enjoyed quality time with my teammates. You know what, I'll be honest, like, just every moment I had the opportunity to turn to my teammates, particularly in the back line, and celebrating small efforts that meant big things. You know, I mean, whether it was a spoil or a tackle or fighting for the outside, it wasn't necessarily the goals. The goals were special, they were great, and you had longer time to celebrate them. But I think every moment that we had the opportunity to celebrate with my teammates, and it's something that we've been known for, the ability to get together and support each other and celebrate as many moments as possible. So that's something that, you know, looking into each other's eyes it's a very, very special time. And yeah, it wasn't necessarily the goals or the magic goals that Dusty's kicked, because they were special, don't get me wrong, but it was about just turning around and having a smile with my fellow teammates was very special. Yeah, I remember grabbing him off, I don't know, someone, I can't remember, but he was crying. Apparently he was so everyone was having a go with him in the grandstand. And he just wasn't. He wasn't happy. Wasn't himself. As soon as I grabbed him and I looked at him and I smiled, and he just gave me this big smile. And then it was just so calm. So maybe spending 3 quality months with him, probably, there's that love affection right there. But yeah, it was just, it's a moment where kids probably don't remember so much, but later on in life we can reflect upon that. And grand finals don't come easy. It won't probably not happen again. We said that in 2017, and it's happened 2 times after that. But in saying that, they don't happen every day, and I'm so glad that my 3 kids got to witness that. Yeah, it's a memorable moment for forever. Oh, I was so nervous about it. Oh, I actually texted Jack this morning about it and said, so sorry, bro. Like, she wrecked a party, but he goes, mate, that was so great. You don't understand? Do you know what? Because the hub has become extended family. And Miriam loves Poppy. She loves Jack, and she used to follow me. She wants to be everywhere Poppy is. You know what I mean? So she felt like that's just normal. You know what I mean? I'm going to go and spoil the party. And then she did it again with me. So no, it's all good. There's definitely, every time I had a look at some texts from mates and that was the best moment of the game for them. So seeing Miriam just jump on stage with Jack and Poppy. I wasn't far from the ball, to be quite honest. I think the ball came, Geelong kicked it to their half-forward line. We spoiled it and the siren went. So who do I go to first? I can't even remember who I went to first, to be quite honest. But I remember before the siren went, I tried to get a Kochi and just gave him a couple of shakes, and we've done this. Dion was another one. We've done this, and they'll look at me like, process. I feel like just saying once again, man, seriously, we can't lose from here. You know what I mean? But that's just been our football club. We're all process driven. It doesn't matter how far ahead we are in the biggest games. We just stick to process and want to get the job done, and we don't fall short of the siren. We follow through and get the job done, and they will celebrate as much as we can. But naturally, I couldn't help it. Premature celebrate with a couple of boys just really quickly, and there's the moments where you'll cherish forever. So yeah, special times, and like I said, I think I'll reflect more upon when probably going home and opening my safe, grabbing the other 2 medals, looking at them and realise that I've been very fortunate to be part of 3 premierships with the greatest football club out there, a football club that is huge on culture, huge on connection. So I'm very, very proud to be a Tiger for life.
Number 14, Basher Hooley.
Yeah, the feeling of the siren sounding on the weekend was unreal. Like, to think that, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking, because I was just like all caught up in emotion and just like, what's just happened? Like, it's been such a crazy year, 2020, and yeah, it was just a lot of like you almost get like the butterflies sort of things, and like the whole crowd's cheering, and so I mean, you run up to the boys and you all start hugging each other, and you're just so wrapped, and it was just like so hard to replicate that sort of feeling again, So yeah, it'd just be a lot of like joy and that sort of stuff, Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, a couple of my highlights for this year. Off-field probably would have been here at KDV, the funny little things we'd do around the hotel, whether it's me and Jace trying to stitch boys up by putting a Mentos in a Coke bottle and hand them a Coke bottle and it fizzes up all over them, or whether it's some of the fun soccer games we've been playing out in the oval that we've got here. I reckon they've been some of the funnest, have been the funnest times in my life, I guess. Been awesome with the boys. But then on field, my best moments this year would be, I'm going to have to say the little shimmy, the sidestep on McCluggage, out in the boundary line. That was something I was like, oh, it's Shea Bolton-like.
So I'm like, oh, you know, to see that's pretty funny, and yeah, didn't know I had a sidestep. So anyway, that's probably one of my highlights, and kicking a goal in the grand final, playing 2017's grand final, didn't kick a goal then, and yeah, to kick a goal or second goal in this year's grand final was like, I just felt all the adrenaline going through me. I was on a high, like the crowd was going nuts, and the boys all got around me. Yeah, it was pretty awesome, and yeah, couldn't go past getting up on stage and receiving the Kevin Bartlett Award, as well as having a grand final, winning the grand final this year too. I was just, I had a lot of questions around whether I was going to even play this year at the start of the year, you know. So yeah, to be able to put that Kevin Bartlett medal around my neck was, just did not expect it. It was amazing. So yeah, a couple of my standout moments for this year.
So it's just crazy to win this award. I don't know what to say, to be honest. Yeah, like you said, this season meant so much to me. And yeah, I couldn't think of a better bunch of blokes to do it with. And you know, the 100 and so days being up here, it's honestly been a moment, you know, a year I'll remember for a lifetime. It's been the funnest year I've had in a long time, or the last that we've had up here.
Yeah, the boys, no, I couldn't be more proud of a group than what I am of this group here. They're just like, we talk about family at the club and everything like that, and some people might think that the word family gets thrown out there in, you know, a footy culture or environment, whatever, but it generally is just like a family here at the footy club, and it's something that we've been working on and building over the number of years. You know, the culture that we have right now at the footy club is so different to when it was in my first year, 8 years ago, and to see it just progress and get better and better, I'm just like, it's just crazy. Like, it generally is just like a family. You know, Kochi's got Brooke, his kids and all that staying here, and the boys are happy to go play with Harper, Mackenzie and Parker and stuff, just to, you know, release some pressure off Kochi and Brooke to have dinner by themselves for once. Just little things like that. Movie night here where we're all just sort of sitting around each other and watching a movie or like Superbad and having a laugh. It just generally is just like a bit of a family. So yeah, like there's no way I would have been able to get back in the side and win the Kevin Bartlett Award for the premiership this year or anything like that if it wasn't for this playing group, the coaching staff, and even the staff behind scenes here at the footy club, because yeah, it's like, you know, the support that they've given me is just awesome, and I couldn't thank them enough. So yeah, it's a pretty amazing group here at the Tigerland. Yeah.
It was pretty exciting. It was a pretty good game. Yeah, I was a bit worried at half-time, but it was one of our better wins, I reckon. Can't believe it. Oh, I reckon being up at the hub, getting the fire going, like early days, just sitting around the fire after games and stuff like that, just hanging around the boys at dinner the whole time. But yeah, it was a pretty special year, I think. Oh, I think as a group it was, but myself, I had a few, maybe we're not going to do it this year, but it makes it even better. Dimmer said it after we lost to Brisbane in the first final, it's going to be the best, you know, it's going to be the better road, and yeah, he was right in the end. Someone kicked a goal and there was heaps of time left. There was about 8 minutes left before Simpson got knocked out, and the game was still on the line, but that's when I thought we'd won it, and yeah, me and Basher just ran straight through the middle. It was like the siren went, but yeah, that was the best moment for me. I think about the half-back line or something, maybe they were going forward, but yeah, the siren went and yeah, it was half-back line. We just ran all over the joint and yeah, hugging the boys, and the 5 minutes after the siren went, I was absolutely knackered because hugging and, you know, getting around everyone. Yeah, the boys are unbelievable. The leaders, they've set the scene. It's a great group to be a part of, and I can't believe what we've done over the past few years, and hopefully there's a few more in us. That's a pretty good group to be a part of, and something I'm very proud of, and all the boys are as well. As you know, we're used to the G crowd and our local supporters in Victoria, but the Gabba last night was unbelievable. You know, it was that loud. It was, you know, they went on par to the MCG, and it was that good run out there, and night grand final, first one, and nah, they were awesome. But we miss them back home, and we'll hopefully see them early next year.
Number 7, Liam Baker.
Lost for words. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to say, because it feels like after, especially what this year was, to finally come out on top and get that reward is, you know, it's the best. Yeah. I always felt like I'd get a chance, obviously, especially at the club we're at, where we've always got a growth mindset and how we're always getting better. That's who we are, what we do. So yeah, it's good to see now that our system works and we're still trusting in our process. Oh, just the people, I reckon, just the company. We always speak about the journey, not the final result. You always, you know, all the memories have come from the journey, and the people you take with that journey, the people that are there with you and support you through this whole thing. Because at the same time, it wasn't easy with being away from family, and everyone felt the same. But yeah, just the people here is just unbelievable. Players, staff. Final siren. Dion ran up to me. I think we bumped knees, and I'm hobbling today because of it, but it was, yeah, definitely worth it. I love when Lambo kicked his goal and he ran up to me. That was a good celebration. Yeah, probably those two. Who means most to me? Starting from young, it'd be Uncle Tony, just going for a kick in the park. Then I had John Barnes mentoring me. He'd go to the park, have a kick with me always. Then you leads on to Alex Rance, Dylan Grimes, Dave Asprey, and Jack Rewell. Just always, all the tall players kind of letting me know that I don't have to do it all. I just need to play my role. Yeah, if I can do that, that's how I'm going to get a spot in the side. So I concentrated on just doing that very heavily, and yeah, here I am now.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing feeling. Not something I really expected, to be honest. I didn't really expect to win, obviously, but yeah, it's a pretty amazing feeling, and very humbling, and yeah, it's pretty hard to believe still. Yeah, it doesn't really feel real, to be honest, but I'm pretty wrapped. Bakes has made me pretty proud, obviously being my housemate back in Melbourne, and just seeing him grow as a player and a person. Yeah, it's just amazing. I love the way he goes about his footy, and he's an amazing teammate. He's awesome to play with, and I'm just wrapped for how he went this year, and yeah, just love playing with him. Being up here, I suppose, is just the trips to the beach, and obviously weren't allowed to do too much, but yeah, obviously being able to get out and go to the beach for a swim and a walk, yeah, that was always good. Going to get a coffee, I suppose, with a few of the boys, and just enjoying that. And then obviously, yeah, it's hard to go by, yeah, winning on the weekend. And probably one of my favourite moments was Jack's goal from the boundary, about 50 out. For me, that was pretty special, and I just loved the way he celebrated, and you could see how much it meant to him, and yeah, that was just an awesome feeling. It's hard to go past like Dustin's goals, and just the way he can play footy. Yeah, it's just inspirational, the way he goes about it, and yeah, for him to perform at such an elite level for so long, it's just amazing, and just wrapped to be his teammate. Yeah, I was right on half back, so the ball was trickling inside Geelong's forward 50, and Grimesy went to pick it up, and just as he went to pick it up, the siren went. So it was a good position to be in, right around the boys, and yeah, it was unreal. Yeah, I suppose hub life's had its challenges, but it's I've sort of tried to have a positive outlook on it, and try to make the most of a bad situation and turn it into a good one. And obviously, yeah, I got the family back home and the girlfriend back home and stuff, and do miss them, but I've tried to make the most of being with the boys and all the staff and coaches and stuff like that, and just enjoy everyone's time. And it's just good to wake up in the morning and always see a smile when you come downstairs and have a coffee with your mates and just look forward to a good day, and you just continue to repeat that. So I think we're here for 113, 14 days, whatever it was, and looking back now, I sort of don't know where the time's gone, and it's gone pretty quick and I've loved it. Yeah, to win was unbelievable. We won it last year. It's sort of, you always want to repeat that feeling, and yeah, to get it again on the weekend was amazing. Yeah, it's just a feeling like no other, and just wrapped that we could be up here and do it. Obviously in a challenging year, and just what better way to go out, I think. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Number 15, Jaden Short.
The build up to the week was a little bit different to what it was in Melbourne, a lot more quieter. We can't really walk around the streets or anything, so we didn't have many people saying stuff to us. But yeah, like 2 days before the game, had issue down in Torquay, and that kind of took all my focus for a day or two, and then switched off from that kind of the morning of the grand final when we had all our meetings and stuff like that. And then can't remember too much after that. So yeah, the whole week was actually a bit of a blur.
He's out cold behind the play here, Foston. What happened?
He ran straight to danger. That was the one where Danger's punched the ball and followed through.
Yeah, wow.
And Ablett's in trouble too, by the way, guys.
And he was out before he hit the ground, Gary Ablett.
Yeah, after the hit, the first thing I remember was like laying in the medical's office, and we've had the Gold Coast doctor for the last couple of weeks, and I woke up with him stitching my chin, and I didn't recognise him straight away, so I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know who we were playing, I didn't know what month it was, so walked up to the bench and kind of sat there a bit rattled for the rest of the game, and yeah, and then got a medal, so easiest grand final ever. Yeah, it hasn't really sunk in that we've actually won it again. It's an awesome reward for the kind of year that we've had, such a tough year on and off the field, and now, yeah, we get to hang out with the boys for the rest of the week and then head back to wherever everyone's going, so bit of fun. Yeah, things I remember most is obviously being up in a hub with 40 blokes for 100 days. It's been a lot of fun, and it was challenging at times, but on field was probably just the win against Port Adelaide. To go down there when they smashed us last time we played and beat them by 6 points in front of their crowd when they were touted as the best team all year, yeah, that's one I'll definitely remember. Yeah, getting third in the best and fairest, yeah, pretty proud of that in a premiership year. There was a fair few backs up the top of the leaderboard, so I think Lep had a fair bit of pull in match committee, so thank you, Lep. Yeah, Leper we've had as our backline coach now for 2 years and 2 flags, so kind of speaks to itself. Yeah, I'm going to miss the way he just trusts us and knows what we're good at and sends us out each week to do that. So yeah, I'm going to miss all that, and yeah, just his general presence. He's pretty fun to be around, and yeah, so I'm going to miss that a lot.